Hello and welcome again to another of these nights, great football night. Carlings presents an evening of legends in association with the IFA. Now we've already done the big two of Mid-Ulster, Portadown and Glenavon. This evening we're back in the big smoke, Seaview Crusaders, and we've got three blasts from the past, tough defender, ball-playing midfielder and a very pacey, tricky winger, plus the current manager Stephen Baxter. Sit back, relax and enjoy. Four people tonight. First, a left winger. He had three spells with the club. He had a time in New Zealand. He also played at Linfield and Glenavon. He was a pacey, tricky little winger. He was Mr. Gavin Arthur. Gavin. He was a top player, and he's one of those players I always thought he could have played and should have played across the water. But you will remember him from the 1968 Irish Cup final, when Joe Meldrum's two goals beat Linfield 2-0. He was there that day. He is Johnny Jameson. He was a league winner here in 1973. It seems about 100 years ago. He was a teak tough left back, Crusaders legend, a legend in his own mind. He is the one, the only, Mr. Liam Beckett. And last but not least, the man who was a winner here as a player, now a winner as a manager in spells, I know, at Glenavon and Linfield, but he's an all-round good guy and he's a true crew man. He is Mr. Stephen Baxter. Gavin, what are you doing these days?
Hold on, Jackie. Stephen wants this pint. Sorry, the boy. You always give me your pint, don't you?
Controversy already. You sat beside him there, you got both pints, didn't you? Anyway. What are you doing these days? Because you were in management.
Yes, I was up until a couple of weeks before Christmas, but I'm not doing anything now. I'm taking a wee break. Was managing the police. Things weren't going too well. Got a wee bit disillusioned with things, so I left and coming to watch the cruise now.
Yeah. Do you miss it? Because it's always nice to be in the dressing room, as we all know, and you miss the banter and you miss being around the game and you miss being around football people.
That side of it, most definitely I miss, yeah, the sort of interaction, the camaraderie, all that. But Stephen, you can tell you, the hassle and everything else that goes with it, no.
Johnny, you were in management with Glentoran Seconds, and then all of a sudden you weren't in management with Glentoran Seconds.
I still haven't found out, Jackie, the reason behind it. Just called in, I told one night this certain manager wasn't happy with the coaching. And how can you not be happy with the coaching when your team is undefeated? And over a period of 10 years, we win something like 4 or 5 George Wilson Cups, and we're in the final of Stevenson's Cup 3 times and win it twice, and we win the league 3 times. So I think, I still don't know what happened, to tell you the truth.
When you're talking about legends, and with all due respect to Stephen and Gavin and myself, this boy could play here.
Oh yes.
This is a proper footballer.
He could have played across the water, in my opinion.
Without any shadow of a doubt. Any time we ever played them, when I went there to Coleraine, as you said, you know, he was always the top man in our eyes. We had to forget the Warren Feeneys, forget the Ralph McCreary's. This was the playmaker for Glentoran. If we could stop him, we had a chance.
So you sized them down a few times.
So we tried to kick him every time we seen him, and he was very, very good. McCurdy was playing and Murray was playing, and there was a few assassins in that team in them days. And
and summer's usually gone, but he led us a merry dance for a long time, many's and many's a time. But he could play, top player. I used to think if you'd have had a midfield with him and Ivan Murray in it, would it not have been some quality?
We'd like to see that today. Do you miss management, or will you go back to it?
Jackie, I wouldn't rule it out completely, but at this minute in time, I wouldn't go back. No, I just don't find any buzz. You don't coach a good player. Good players are born.
I know that, Liam. They couldn't coach me. Tell them how good management is. Nice easy one for you.
Well, I see a couple more grey hairs than the last night we sat here.
It's still growing anyway, which I'm glad about. I think management's something that you have to think long and hard about, because I think a lot of people say I would like to manage, but it's whilst you play the game at a very high level and had your career and got through it. Management, half the battle is people. It's people management. It's what you can get out of people. You know, we have never been blessed at this football club here in Northern Ireland for being a big money spending club. So we have to nurture and grow our young talent, and that's the big exciting part for me is seeing the young players come through, seeing those players become, you know, top Irish League players and then go on to win trophies and go on and do well. That's the big thing for us. And I also think you have to have a big feel for the club, you know. So that's something I think is missing in the game a little bit. You have to know the heartbeat of your club and have that passion for it, you know. That was the big exciting thing for me when the guys rang me. Jim Semple rang and said, look, we're managerless. We've 9 games to go. Would you come and give us a pull out? And I says, no problem. 9 games. I came for 9 games. I'm here 6 years, you know. So they've kept me a while.
Do you think there has been a drop in the quality of Irish League players in the last 10 years?
When I was playing, football was everything. We were out in the street, we were playing every patch of grass we were playing on. Nowadays, I think football's played a lot with PlayStations. Kids don't go out and play football nowadays. Football is really a byproduct. It's something to do on a Tuesday and Thursday night. It's not the be all and end all. So, is the quality the same? Give a yes or no answer. No, I don't think it's as good now.
Those days when we played, there was none of all this nonsense, you know, formations. You played basically 4-4-2, and you're always told to go out and attack. And the other side of the game is, there's managers in this league, and in the game, they send you out to watch a player. They don't ask you, can he head the ball, can he pass the ball, can he tackle? The first thing you ask you, is he an athlete? Can he get back from box to box? It doesn't matter about the rest. If you say he's an athlete and he can hit box to box, they go out and sign him. And that's the difference, you know.
Stephen, in 1993 you were transferred from Linfield to the Stollery. Can you recall the transfer fee? And in today's, relating that transfer fee to today's fee, how much would you have been worth?
Was the transfer fee 11,500, was it?
Very close, 12.
12, and then stayed there a year and came here, and the Stollery got 15. Crusaders paid 15,000, was it? And then 4 years later went to Glenavon for 18,000, and came back here 2 years later for nothing.
You were worth that sort of money.
This is to Stephen Baxter. Is Marty Donnelly going to stay, or is he going to go?
But we've done quite well again.
Will I go? Okay. Thank you, David. Nice easy question. Thank you.
This is really straightforward. We signed all the players up in in December, November, December time. Signed all the players we had that are coming out of contract. And Martin was no different, was offered a contract. And a substantial contract for this football club. He said he wanted some time to think about it. All the other players had signed up. And he wanted some time to think about it. He wanted a week or two. But he didn't come back to us on it. So we asked him again, and he said he wanted to wait. And as I said to the press the other night, there's no crime in that. If the lad wants to wait, the lad wants to wait. But Crusaders Football Club can't wait because if you get to the end of the season, that lad leaves the club free of charge, and then we have to then try and find a replacement, a suitable replacement. And all the other clubs are already out there finding the better suitable replacements right now.
Yeah.
That's why it's difficult.
So this is a question for you, John Jameson.
It's a double question, Johnny. Firstly, where did the nickname Stumpy come from? And secondly, was it more of an achievement winning the Irish Cup with a small club like the Crews than it was with the Glens?
The first part came from Mr. Coy. When we went training and I used to wear the pants right down the knees and the socks rolled down. So he started nicknaming me out there because of the wee short legs. The second one, I was playing for Dundalk, and we got beat in the final of Stephen Sons Cup. I think it was 67, 68. And then 4 days later, it signed for the Crews. And the wee man was manager of Dundalk. And he says to me, if you don't make it, I'll bring you back here. He had great faith in me, and within 4 months, I'd win the Irish Cup with Crusaders, and especially beating Linfield in the final. And I think on the way till the final, most of our matches was all replays. But winning with the Crews your first time was fantastic, and especially against the Blues, who were at that time £100 a man, and we were on £25 a man.
What you've created in 6 years here is what I call togetherness. And you can't buy togetherness, you create togetherness. And this club has it because when you don't have money, what you can have is togetherness. It's free, you don't have to, you don't pay for it. And you can't buy it. There's other clubs that have dressing rooms that are fragmented. There's factions sitting in each room. Do you like that big word heap? I don't know what it means, but he told me to use it. Don't ask me to spell it.
Factions and fragmented.
But their dressing rooms are fragmented. That means they're all apart, you know. And that's something that you get at an awful lot of Irish league clubs. This man has created what I call togetherness at a club, and that's so important.